on stage we have Payton Anthony, and Payton is going to play 3 orchestral excerpts. There's a link I'll put into the chat with all the performers' music today for anyone who wants to follow along. And Andrew, I'll maybe give you, like, what do you think? Maybe 20 minutes, you want to think 20 minutes per student and then leave some time for questions?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
I'm just going to put some lights on because I'm sitting here in the dark. So,
okay. And Payton, are you ready to go on stage?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. All right. Well, let's get started.
terrific. Did you want to play the whole group, or should we deal with them once at a, as they come? What would you like to do, Payton?
You mean, should we go through all of them or should we go individually?
Yeah.
I guess we could do all of them and then go through them after. Okay.
Sounds great, by the way. Terrific. Bravo. How'd that feel?
Felt good. Yeah.
Yeah. Terrific. So what year are you in?
I'm a freshman here at Western.
Oh, great. Awesome. Well, it sounds terrific. I wish I could have such an easy sound in the Tchaikovsky as you do. That's really beautiful. Great job. Maybe we start with that. Maybe we start with Tchaikovsky. So what is your idea of the character with this one?
Very lyrical, expressive, a lot of contrast in the dynamics.
Okay, right. I'm going to ask you a question. Who has been to a masterclass of mine before? or saw the 5-day challenge that we did a few weeks ago? Anyone? Oh, good. Oh, great. So I can repeat some stuff. Okay, that's good. So, all right. So what I see, you make such a beautiful sound, but I don't reckon you get as much air in as you can. So what I want you to do is to take these two fingers. Everyone can do this. Anyone who has, well, none of you have been in a masterclass before, so you realize that you actually have to be, sadly, you're all involved in this process. There's no just sitting around. And if you've got cameras off, I can still see you. Don't worry. I have a tool here that I actually can see through your camera. You don't realize this, but I'm actually controlling your camera. So even if your camera's off, I can actually still see you. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's okay. So these two fingers, I want you to suck air through your two fingers. What do you feel? Payton? There's no wrong answers, by the way. No wrong answers.
It feels like I'm taking in more air.
Okay, where?
Here. I don't know if you can see, but I'm
I
gesturing
can
to my
see.
chest.
Are you sure? Try it again. See,
Yeah.
what, did anyone see Payton's eyes? Did you see his eyes? When the second time he took a breath, his eyes went up and to the left. And at that point, you can tell what you were starting to do is actually be aware of what you were doing instead of trying to do something.
Yeah.
Did you feel that?
Yes.
It's really interesting. It's a really interesting observation. Everyone does this when we're actually trying to like look at ourselves in the third person and observe. We either look up and to the left or down and to the left. It's really interesting. Almost everyone does this. I haven't done the scientific research on the why this is, or this is just my observation of like dealing with hundreds of people. So what you notice is it's low, right? Low and around into the bottom of your ribs. Okay, terrific. So this is totally normal. Congratulations, you are normal. Bravo, well done. That's great. So this feeling is what the feeling we want when we're playing the horn, because it's what your body wants to naturally do when it wants to actively bring air into it, right? So we want to focus on it. So when I'm playing, whenever I get nervous, the first thing that goes is our breathing, right? That's my breathing disappears, your breathing disappears. We all shrink and we breathe into this area. We sort of suck in air and then hope that it's going to work. And what we tend to focus on is how my chops feel. You have that as well. So, I've got to make sure my chops are right, and everything's got to be in the right place, right? So I don't want that when I'm playing, because when I'm nervous, the little muscles are the ones that are going to get shaky, and they're also going to get weak. Right? If I'm playing a Mahler symphony, I'm not going to get through a Mahler symphony if I'm relying on these little muscles in my face. So what I want to be focusing on is what is going to be simple, natural, and repeatable for me day in, day out is breathing. And the reason for that is if we can't breathe, we're dead. So there's a pretty good reason why we want to base everything on the breathing. So I want to put the emphasis on what is the most obvious feeling when I breathe in. And for you, it's this low and around feeling. I feel it on the sides. I'll show you guys. On the sides here is where I have the expansion. So when I breathe in, I feel that expansion. That's what I want to feel when I'm playing a concert. Before the concert starts, if we're playing, something where I'm nervous, I'm going to poke myself in the ribs to remind myself that's what I want to feel expanding. Okay, next thing we're going to do is once you've taken that breath, I just want everyone to dump the air out onto your fingers. So move your fingers 2 inches in front of your face after you've taken the breath and dump the air. What do you feel? Do it again. The breath is terrible because you're not sucking in through your fingers. Suck. Good. What do you feel on the way out?
I'm going to do it again.
Good.
It feels direct, controlled. Feels
and
controlled.
Inside your body? Try it
What's
again.
that?
Inside your body, what does it feel like? Great, perfect. What does that feel like? Put it in the chat if you guys notice something. Good.
It feels like I have to push a lot to get the air to come out at that speed.
So you have this is engaged, right?
Yes.
Bellows is a perfect word, Jenna. Thank you very much. So yeah, so we have your stomach's engaged, like you're doing a little bit of a sit-up, right? And it feels open through your chest because the activity is happening from your stomach. Is that right?
Yeah.
So that's my feeling. So I feel exactly like the bellows. So my bellows, the bottom half of my body is pulling out when I breathe in. It engages, and the air is just flowing on the way out. So this is what for me is natural. This is what I notice away from the horn. So that's what I want to apply to the horn. Next step, take your mouthpiece. Everyone take their mouthpiece. Tremendous. We flip the mouthpiece around. You blow through the little end. So we're going to take the same breath and we're going to blow the same feeling of these bellows and this engagement and open through the chest. We're going to blow that through the back of the mouthpiece. Good. Same feeling?
Yes.
So we can create, what we're learning with this is the reason we do this with the mouthpiece, and I also use a straw. This will help as well. If you go to McDonald's, the McDonald's thick shake straws are the best ones with perfect diameter. Actually we've had a meeting with them and I've got them to change their diameter so it works much better for horn playing. That's not true. So the mouthpiece gives us a little bit of resistance, but we can create the same feeling. We're learning how to create the same feeling that's natural as we increase the resistance. Same again. Right, perfect, fantastic. Okay, that into the horn. You're gonna play middle C, and your job is just to replicate the same feeling, not to care what comes out of the horn. And down to a C, horn C. Just focusing on replicating that feeling. Oh. Perfect. Down a half step. Still water. Good.
Andrew,
Yeah.
I think your original sound is not on,
Thank you.
so we're getting distortion.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry about that. Okay, down another half step. The same feeling, go back to your fingers. Perfect. Put that into the horn. Good. Terrific. That's terrific. Good. So try this at home. It's just very simple exercise to focus on moving the same air and the same feeling that you do onto your fingers through the mouthpiece and then into the horn. So how do we transfer this to the Tchaikovsky? Well, all that happens is you just give your brain a different template. The template is that you sing the melody of the Tchaikovsky. So take the mouthpiece. Actually, I'll use the shiny mouthpiece. It looks better. And we're just going to blow the opening of the Tchaikovsky. And the feeling is you're going to run out of air, right? Much earlier than you normally would. That's a good sign. Running out of air is good. The last time I checked, air was free. It's one of the last things that is free in the world. So we just take more of it and just use it. It's no problem. So breathe, blow, focusing on this feeling and singing the melody in your head. From the beginning again. Beautiful. Fantastic. Okay, that into the horn. So all you're doing is singing the melody in your head, blowing that feeling. Let's see what happens. Okay, fantastic. What do you notice?
Doesn't feel like I have to use my mouth as much. It feels like it's more free,
Yeah.
easier to play.
Yeah, so what we've done is we've flipped the emphasis of control. So we've moved from the little muscles controlling to the big muscles controlling. Now that feels terrifying for us as horn players, right? To begin with, because you're like, what? Your brain is like, hang on, I don't know how to put where these notes are going to go. And what you realize is actually you do, because the map in your head that you're singing the melody, that will send a message to your muscles. Oh yeah, we just need to sit in this position. And the big muscles are going to be able to play this whole solo and the whole piece without any stress because they're not going to get tired. Have you ever seen an internal picture of a diaphragm inside your body? It's pretty cool, right? It's like an umbrella that sits halfway in your body, and it basically cuts your entire body in half, except for two holes, right? The two holes are where, they've got some pipes running through them, right? It's like a pretty simple thing. But we've got this big umbrella, and that muscle is, that's not going to get tired, and your stomach muscles are not going to get tired, but your face is. So if we can train our brain to put the weight carrying effort on our stomach muscles, on our lungs, then we're in really good shape. Can you go again from the beginning? That was really beautiful, terrific. So just blow it in through the mouthpiece, just to get that feeling. And this is a really important thing to do. Is if you're experimenting with this in your practice, you want to make sure that you get to the original version. The original version is that. That's what we want to keep getting back to, because that's, the basis of what we're building. And then applying it. Be aware, feel what that feels like, and then we apply it to the instrument. Okay. So mouthpiece first and then horn.
Like buzzing on the mouthpiece or blowing?
Oh no, blowing.
Okay.
Just blowing. And feel. But you notice you want to block the air?
Yeah.
You feel that? Yeah, let it go. Let the mouthpiece block it. Don't block it with your body. Yeah, terrific. Beautiful. Then into the horn. Fantastic. Yeah, that's great. And we have this beautiful long line, and you've got a lot more air to work with, right? Yeah, terrific.
We've got about 4 minutes left.
Okay, thank you. So now we can apply this to the Brahms, right? So now we'll go a trick with the Brahms. What I want you to do is to take this breath at the beginning of the Brahms, and you're going to play the whole thing in one breath. Okay? Good luck. Oh, very good. Terrific. So what we learn from this is that it is possible, absolutely no problem, right, to get through this whole solo. What we tend to do is we break up the solo into 19 bits because we're scared of running out of air in the long phrase. But now you've just shown yourself that, oh yeah, this is no problem, I can do this. But you weren't blowing the same way that you did through the mouthpiece, were you? Because I hear this. and the air is stopping. So can you sing the melody in your head, blow the phrase through the back of the mouthpiece? Now you're going to have to breathe. Okay, so that's, breathe wherever you need to. There we go. So it's very, very linear, very, very connected. Now, what I want you to also think about is these little crescendos. Leave them later in the bar. Leave them into the second half of the bar. So the crescendo is more like this shape rather than it being an even crescendo through the bar. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So go from the beginning, playing. All blowing. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that into the horn. Now you can breathe wherever you need to, it's no problem. Here. This is where we stop. Ba-da-da-ha-da-da. So your air is not connected, right? And what we want from here, from 102, 103, 104, 105, and basically 106, we want to keep this very, very calm and sustained with the dynamic, right? Because that gives us, it builds the tension, and then it leaves this crescendo at the end to be very expressive. And then I want to see if you can get to 110 as the peak. Okay? So can we go from the middle of 102 or, end of 102? Right. So can we take this back so you don't have bar numbers?
Yeah.
You have bar numbers?
Oh, wait, I went to the wrong measure. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, so can we go 102? They're very, very connected with this line. And focus on your movement of the air, not on the trying to get the notes. Here. Da 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 da. Da da dee da da dee da da. Yeah. Good. So we smooth that out. How does that feel?
Well, it feels smoother, like it has more direction instead of the stopping of the air.
Right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think we are out of time, but thank you, Payton. That was terrific. Well done. Bravo.
Thank you.
Bravo, Payton. Very nice. Next, we will have we have an award that we give out every year to one or two outstanding high school horn players. So this is the Roger Collins Award in homage to the previous to Dr. Faust horn professor here at WIU. So the first performer and a winner of that award today is Danica Tuohy, and she will be performing part of the Morceau de concert. So I don't know, I think she's got the whole first movement. So whatever, no, I said the wrong thing. En Forêt, I'm sorry. Sure. That's En Forêt. So feel free to stop her, Danica, let me see, I don't see you. Danica is a junior in high school, and she is a student of Susan Osvath.
Hi, Danica.
Hello. Can you hear me all right?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Oh, hang on. Where am I looking? Oh, there you are.
Can you wave? Yeah, there you go.
Hi.
Hello. I'm gonna do a sound check first.
Sure.
Just so I make sure it's working good. Everything sound good?
It sounds just like a French horn. Fantastic. Danica, it's fantastic. Thank you. That's great. Let's do some work on this one, huh?
Okay. Yeah.
Beautiful job. Great. Let's go back to the beginning. I can honestly tell you, I've never performed this piece. I've taught it a lot, but I've never performed it. So, you know, you guys are lucky you don't have to hear me play it this morning. But you're doing an amazing job. That's fantastic. Really, really great. Can we go from the beginning? And can you play the opening phrase? We're going to play it like half the tempo. And what I want you to do is play it all totally slurred, as connected and as glissando as possible. Actually, can you flutter tongue?
Yes.
You can flutter tongue? Perfect. Can you play it flutter tongue and slurred? Half that tempo.
Half that tempo? Okay.
Yeah. Perfect. Well done. Great. So take the mouthpiece. We're going to do the mouthpiece thing again. So I want you now to blow this opening phrase through the back of the mouthpiece. Breathe whenever you need to, but we want it as connected as possible. So oh, that's hard work. You can try that at home. Just make sure you're sitting down because you might fall over. Okay, go, Danica. Good. Now can you do it without the articulation? So you're singing the melody in your head and everything is just totally connected with no tonguing. Yeah. Great. So this is the feeling you want to go for when we're playing anything. Even if it's short, even if we have, you know, lots of articulation, we need this constant engagement. You can feel your stomach working, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's a trick that I can show you guys that you can win thousands of dollars at parties all over the country. You can take this trick on the road and it's amazing, right? Okay, so I bet you $50 that I can't get this ping pong ball to stick to my mouthpiece. Anyone want to take me up on the offer? Oh, come on, be a sport. $50. I'll give you odds, 5 to 1. No? Ah. All right. So if you can find a ping pong ball, this is the fun game, right? I'm going to stick this ping pong ball by blowing. I'm going to stick the ping pong ball to the end of the mouthpiece. Who believes me? Anyone believe that this is possible? Jenna, you've seen this before. Damn. There's always one. Oh. Okay, so ready? Ready? Now I'm putting myself under pressure, right? There's thousands of dollars riding on this. You see that? Let's try it again. I can do better than that. Who would have believed that? Unbelievable. Yeah, there you go. Steven's like, yeah, I've seen that before. There's no worries. Right. So this is the ping pong. I think Christy may have borrowed it from me. So this is if we move the air fast enough, it creates a seal on the other side of the ping pong ball, and it's going to stay in place. If the air is not fast enough, it'll end up flying across the room. Okay. So what we feel if you do that, and I would encourage you to try this at home, is that you really feel your stomach muscles really engaging and working. This is what we want, and then once we're aware of that's where the activity is happening, it's going to free up everything else, and it's going to give us really good constant air. So Danica, you know what you're doing this afternoon, right? You're buying a whole bunch of ping pong balls, and it's going to be flying around the house with them. All right. So from the beginning of the let's go from the beginning of the piece. We're going to play it with this airstream connected, all slurred, and really slow. And as far as you can, and then just breathe and keep going. fantastic. Now, can you make it as much glissando as you can? You have to bend as much as you can in between the notes. Good, 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 good. But even more connection. We're not trying to sound good. We're just trying to feel that the air stays connected. Okay? I am, if nothing, if I'm not, look, I'm not the greatest horn player ever to live, right? But I can sound really bad, really, really well. And that is my strength. I'm not sure that's going to earn me much money, but that's what we do. So we're not worrying. In our practice, it's really important when we're experimenting with things that we allow ourselves the possibility to sound horrendous. And it doesn't matter because you're learning something, right? And you're experimenting. So if we need to release this need that every time we pick up the horn, everything has to sound really pristine and nice. As long as we know what we're going for and what we're achieving out of it, it's okay. The result is sort of irrelevant. Does that make sense? Okay, Danica, go for it. Terrific. Okay, so now that's really fantastic. You can feel how much your stomach's working now, right?
Yeah.
How much the air is working. Great. So now we're going to just add the articulation. But we keep this airstream exactly the same and the same speed. Okay. You hear you stop the air between the first and the second note?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want that. We want continued air exactly the same as you're slurring. All you're going to do is you can just add the tongue as you change the notes. Great, 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 great. Again, even more connection with the air. So your focus is on absolutely relentless airflow. Like you're just turning on a tap and it's stuck on. Great. Okay, terrific. How does that feel?
It feels a lot easier to get through it.
Yeah. And then the next thing we have to think about is in terms of our air, as we go higher, the airstream needs to speed up. So we need to think of moving faster air as we head into the upper register. As we descend, we're increasing the volume of air. Does that make sense? Okay, so try that from the beginning. And then we're going to do something really interesting that's going to...
Do you still want me to do
We can go a little bit faster, exactly the same connection with the airstream. Yeah. Very good. Okay, terrific. Now, take the mouthpiece again. We're going to do, so how do we make an accent? That's a very good question. I'm so glad that someone put that in the chat. Oh, you didn't? Oh, well. I'll answer it for you anyway. So how do we make the accents? Well, when I was a student, I thought the accents had to come from my tongue. And I would just have more of a percussion sound with my tongue. And all that I found was that would work. I would end up with the accent, but what would happen is the sound would really suffer after the accent because I had this big interruption, a big explosion into the airstream, and then my face would have to sort of deal with the after effects. So how do we make an accent? That's really great. Well, the accent comes from the flexibility that we've created here in our stomach, and it's just a little pop, as if you're laughing. Ha, 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 ha. Everyone can do that. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, ha. You feel how your stomach's bouncing? Ha, ha, ha. This is an accent, right? So we're going to do the same thing, going through the back of the mouthpiece. Good. So we have what we're doing is we're building layers. It's really, really simple. If you come to our warm-up session, we talk about this quite a bit. Or you can check them out, obviously, on YouTube. But we want to build layers. The first layer is what we've established, Danica, this connection layer, right? And then the second layer can be either the tongue just coordinating with the notes, or it can be this bounce. You can hear the accents through the air, right? Hopefully. Can you? Everyone, please just nod if you can. Get right. Okay, perfect. Fantastic. It makes me feel better. I'm a very insecure person, so I need this, you know, feeling of feedback. Otherwise, it's just horrible. And then what happens is we combine the tongue and the accent, right? But we don't. The tongue doesn't change. The tongue just is coordinating with the change of the note. And there we have accent. And then all we need to do is put that into the instrument. But whenever we're experimenting with this stuff, it's good to do it away from the horn, because one of the large elements that we take out of it is our need for us to get the right notes. We don't need to get the right notes. What we need to do is set up the right mechanism, and then we can get the notes after that. So, mouthpiece. You're going to just play legato, but with the accents from your stomach, the beginning of the piece. Line. Oh, and remember the first layer is this one.
Yeah.
Right? Good, no tongue. No tongue, just your stomach. So yeah, good. It's a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
But we're working big muscles, and so they're not going to get tired. Now to that setup, so we've got the connected line. We have now the bouncing with the with the stomach. Now we add the articulation from the tongue as well. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, now that into the horn. But we're just going to play an F at the bottom of the stave. You're going to sing the melody in your head, but you're just going to play F. But with the accents as written. Yeah, and can we have the underlying line really, really constant? So it's going to sound Yep. And now add the real notes. But keep what you've just done exactly the same. Okay, good. Good. Do we notice a difference? So we have more sound. Do you notice a difference, Danica?
Yeah.
What do you notice?
I'm able to support my sound more and
Yeah.
get the dynamics across better.
So we've got this layer, and what would be really great, we're going to do it one more time and make sure that you sustain the long notes so that they connect. And that you're just using the articulation to coordinate the notes. One more time. Good. Okay, and now just for our reference, can you play how you would play if we'd have never met? Just so what you did right at the beginning. Yeah, terrific. So that's really good. So what do we notice? What's the comparison?
I'm able to support my sound really better with the way that you were instructing me, and the phrase more connected.
Yeah, and we end up with much more sound, right?
Yes, definitely.
And it's less work in your face.
Hmm.
So what we've discovered is like you're set up great. It sounds really terrific. We just make sure that the focus moves onto your airstream and staying connected with the airstream, that everything falls into place a little easier. And then we just apply this template to everything that you're doing throughout the piece. Terrific. Thank you so much. Great job.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Great job,
Terrific.
Danica.
Thank you.
All right. Our next performer will be Lauren Antoniolli. She's going to be in the Kofac Recital Hall here on campus. And she's performing the Laudatio or what I recently discovered this is a disputed title. How to
Funny,
say it.
I'd never heard it called Laudatio before.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
then now I hear that that's everyone's saying that, and I'm like, maybe I've been calling it something wrong for.
Yeah. Well, whatever it's called, it's a great piece, and she's going to be performing it in the recital hall for this masterclass. Lauren's a junior at Western.
Right. Hi, Lauren.
Hi.
Nice to see you. Terrific. Well done. Beautiful. How did that feel? Other than terrifyingly nervous?
Yeah, it was okay.
Oh, good. Okay, great. Why do you like this piece?
I like this piece because I feel like it has a lot of contrast. So there's a lot in a short period of time.
Cool. Right. So one of the important things I think in this piece, and you know, Krol makes a point of this, is actually the silence. You see, it creates an effect, right? So silence is an integral part when we have solo repertoire. Silence is a really important thing for us to be able to utilize. So generally, I think you can take more time when you have rests and there's spaces between these sections to create this sense of anticipation. This works really well. Have you ever played the Messiaen, the interstellar call?
No.
This is a really effective, tool in that piece, but also in this piece. There's a lot of similarities. To let the space breathe, and let the audience who've never heard it before be in this feeling of like, what's coming next? Is it going to be loud? Is it going to be soft? So, what I'd love for you to do is just go from. Let's go from the fourth line, and I want you to see how much impact we can get from at the end of the fourth line, diminuendo to nothing, count to 5, and then hit us with the biggest, fattest fortissimo that you can possibly play. Terrific. Terrific. But it feels uncomfortable, right? To wait that long.
Yeah.
But I would actually say you can wait longer.
Okay.
Right? But now we have this amazing effect of you finish the phrase and it peters off and we don't really know where it ends, and then we're like, okay, you actually finished? What's going on? Whoa, and then you get hit by this wall of sound. So can you double the length? Just play from da 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 da, just the last, where the 8th notes are. And then wait twice the amount of time. And can you play the F twice as long?
Sure.
No? Fantastic. That's really, really good. It feels incredibly uncomfortable, but it also feels incredibly uncomfortable for us too, and that's why it's so good. Because we're like, what is going to happen now? It's terrific. Okay, great. Can we actually let's go from here. What I want you to do is I want you to play with the widest, most ugly vibrato that you possibly can imagine for these C's. From where we just got to.
Okay.
Because I'm really good at doing things that don't sound very good, I'll give you a demonstration. Ready?
Okay.
you very much. I'll be here all week. Try the steak. Yeah, okay. So go for it. Learn. You have plenty of time. It's in the same tempo, and you're going to run out of air, but take your time. Tim. But with this very, very large, obnoxious vibrato. But we have to, because if you're a violinist, right, you would keep vibrating all the way through the phrase. You wouldn't stop the vibration, right? Well, we don't want vibrate, stop. No, it's constantly, and then we just articulate when we need to. Don't worry, there is a point, and it will sound better. At the moment, I can see the look on your faces like, this guy is completely nuts. That's true. It is true. But there is a point to this, so don't panic yet. That was fantastic. And you notice that the room is spinning much more, right? You've got much more sound in the room because you're sustaining all the way through. Now, you feel this connection here with your stomach. Now I want you to take the vibrato out and do exactly the same thing. How does that feel?
That felt a lot stronger.
Yeah, so all that we're doing is we're using the acoustic of the room and the sustain of the line to give us more power without actually having to work harder. Because to get the room spinning that much, if you put a gap between each note or if you taper each note, you have to play so loud to have the room hang on to that resonance. Whereas if we sustain the line and give it more direction, the room will do the work for us. So go from there and keep going the rest of the phrase. But we're just always connecting everything with the airstream. Terrific. Now take the mouthpiece out. You've got to blow this through the mouthpiece, but the accents come from your stomach. At the moment, your stomach is like a block of concrete. And it needs to be like a Pilates or yoga ball. It needs to have that flexibility. Yeah, good. Good. Much more kick from your stomach and much more sustain with the line. So that it will be... Oh. Good. A lot of air, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so now put that into the horn. Don't care what it sounds like, but put that level of air in. Yeah, fantastic. You notice the difference? Much more easy power, no? Great. Now the last thing to do is you have to remember to breathe. Because you breathe a little bit like a goldfish. There's not a lot of air that goes in. What I want you to do is really suck the air in as low and around as you can. Is your mouthpiece clean?
Yes.
Okay, can you take your mouthpiece out? You can only do the clean mouthpiece, otherwise it could be ugly. And I want you to breathe in through your mouthpiece. You feel how your lower ribs are really pulling? Do it again.
Yeah.
Do it again. And then blow out through the mouthpiece. There we go. Fantastic. So that breath and that blowing from the same spot. Into the horn. Fantastic sound. Really, really great. Now, can we transfer that to the beginning? Does that make sense? So I really want you to focus on getting this air low and and pulling really, really wide as you can when you take the breath in. And take your time. And then really let it go on the way out. Then we're going to just make sure that you're organized before you start blowing. So get your setup first and then blow through your setup rather than try and form it as you start blowing. It's the same thing. What's happening is you're now taking a really good breath, but you start to blow before your face is ready to go. So you're trying to organize everything at the one time. And when on the days when you're coordinated and everything feels good, it's going to be fine. And on the days where you're a little nervous or it's not quite right or you're a little unsure, that coordination won't happen. So you want to think of this thing of breathe, organize everything, and then blow through that organization. Does that make sense? It will look like something like this. Let me, I apologize for the graphic close-up that you're about to see. So if you're scared of graphic close-ups, turn your camera off now or something. But so you see how there's just a moment where I'm gathering before. I'm not holding, and I don't want to have tension. I just want to be organized as against. You see the difference?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Sorry, yeah. I apologize again for my face, but it's the only one I've got, so not a lot I can do about that. I could probably do less close-ups. That would be the good thing. Yeah, so it's just that moment. So breathe, organize, and blow. And it looks like, in graphic terms, if I can... Oh, yes. I get to draw pictures again. This is very exciting. Oh, no, I'll do it on my... Bear with me, 2 seconds. I promise this is going to be exciting. I mean, relatively exciting. Okay. Good. This is the shape that we want when we're taking a breath and blowing. So it's this, I'll go that way. Breathe, organize, blow. Not. Does that make sense? So there's just that point at the top where we're gathering and just organizing before we start releasing the airstream. Go from the beginning. That was terrific. Does that feel any different?
Yeah, that felt a lot different.
So what were you doing?
I think it was just like taking that split second to set up the exact embouchure that I wanted before playing each starting note was really helpful.
Yeah, right. All right. Yeah, fantastic. So that would be the things for you. Make sure that you get your air low and full rather than, as we get nervous, we're all the same, right? We all have tension here, so we breathe into here and we find it hard to get everything down. So that is really important, releasing the air nice and long and getting organized before you start blowing. Because your setup is terrific, but if it's in place and you blow through the setup, if we think about it, we call it a setup, right? So we want to set up the setup before you go. We don't want to be setting up the setup as you're trying to do stuff, right? because that would be rather difficult. Yeah, difficult to build stuff as you're on the move. So we want to build the structure first, and then blow through it, and then take time, get comfortable taking a lot of time, get comfortable with silence, and then it will be great. Terrific. Thank you so much. Beautiful. Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done.
Wow, what a difference in sound all of that air made.
Funny that, isn't it?
Yeah. So our last performer is coming up. We're getting close to the end of this session. If anyone has any questions, make sure to get them in the chat now. I've posted the link to the warm-up sign up. So anyone who wants to do that, please sure to check that out. Our next performer is Luke Suarez. Luke is another one of our Roger Collins Award winners. This is his second year winning the award. He's a senior in high school, and he's a student of Dr. Faust here, and he's going to play the first movement of the Franz Strauss Horn Concerto.
Cool. I'm just going to I just put in the chat the website, our website for my our little organization that we have that runs all the warm-up sessions. We have a bunch of stuff, online teaching stuff, and we've just launched a summer program. So if people are at a loose end over the summer, and you want to work, on your playing and career development, then you can sign up to have a chat with us, or check out Invest in Musician. We've got a lot of information there to help you. All right, I've got to now find through my gallery. Where am I looking? Luke, hi Luke.
Hello.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Terrific. Shall we?
Yep.
You playing from the beginning?
I can play from the beginning. I can jump into a spot where
Wherever you prefer.
Okay.
I love this piece. So this is a lot of fun.
All right. So if my audio starts, if your speakers start to explode, just please stop and I'll try and fix something.
And the crowd goes wild. You're terrific. Great job. Well done. Okay. Fantastic. Your attention to detail is really, really, really amazing. That's really great with all of this different articulations and dynamics. Very, very good. What do you like about this piece?
I like its contrast between lyricism and technicality. So there's lots of great melodies in this movement, and there's also a lot of really fast, almost Italian operatic passages, which are very nice.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Am I allowed to talk about articulation? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Can we do some experimenting?
Sure.
So one of the things that I talk about, with people who come to me for lessons and in masterclasses, and I probably should have said this right at the beginning, is that none of you should trust anything that I tell you. Right? No one should trust a thing, because there are a million different ways to, do things. And I know, I would say, if I'm lucky, 0.1% of what there is to know about French horn and music. So this is just my ideas and what sort of works for me and stuff that I've picked up along the way. What I encourage everyone to do is to experiment and test what I talk about and what we've tried out today. Don't trust what I'm telling you, because it could be total garbage. And for some people, it will be total garbage, and for other people, it will actually be useful. And this is what we want to set up in terms of how we learn as musicians moving forward. We're learning our entire life and entire career, and if we can set up this idea that I've heard this person say something like this, take it into the practice room, experiment with it, work out whether it's going to fit for you, whether it's helpful or not. If it is, great, find out a way to integrate it. If it's not, get rid of it and move on. But go through that testing process, because I may have some good ideas. You never know. It's possible, right? So I want to experiment with this. Where does your tongue hit when you articulate, Luke? Everyone can ask themselves this question too.
Just behind where the gums and the teeth meet.
Okay, so if we had if this is my teeth,
Yes.
right, and this is the palate, and my where the gum meets the teeth is here. It's sort of in this spot here, right?
Yes.
That is, and it's sort of like this shape. There's your tongue. This is your tongue. It's not. It's my arm, but this is your tongue.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then the motion is sort of like that.
Yes.
Okay, good. So this is pretty normal for most people, and this is how I basically articulated for a long time. And then I started really experimenting. So this is going to be fun 20 minutes for all of us, maybe. So I want to take that tongue position and slide it down the back of your teeth until the tip of your tongue is at the tip of your top teeth. And it's sort of squashed in like Play-Doh, so it's touching up the back of the middle 4 front teeth, and a little bit back from the tip is where the gum meets the teeth. So it's sort of in this position. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so from there, just blow. And let the tongue get blown down and forwards. Yep, but without dropping your jaw. Mhm. Okay. So now take your tongue in the original position, where it's pointy a little bit, right?
Yes.
So put that position in, and feel what happens in your throat. Do you feel anything in your throat? Don't move it. Just leave it there.
Yeah.
Feel a little tension in your throat?
Yes.
Okay, now take the tongue and slide it down the back of your teeth to where the tip is at the bottom of the teeth. Now what do you feel?
It's a lot more. The throat is more open.
More open. Okay. So again, this is where the testing and not don't trust what I tell you. It's I want to in my practice, I'm very much open to experimenting with different things and feeling what the effects of those things are, and then hearing what happens with my playing. Right. So so I started with this. This was my normal tongue position where the tip was where the gum meets the teeth. And I found that things were not, I wasn't quite able to get the clarity and the immediacy of sound that I wanted. So I just started to experiment with different things. And I came to this position, and for me, this works. And for a lot of people, it works, but you need to experiment with that. So from this position, I'm just blowing down, and it's just the front part of my tongue, just the tip I want to be thinking of is doing the movement, not my whole tongue pulling back. And I don't want it to pull back for me because that's the opposite direction that the air is traveling. So I want it to be in coordination with the airstream, so like opening a gate. Does that make sense? Take the mouthpiece and just blow it through the mouthpiece with that tongue position, that feeling.
Backwards mouthpiece?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't do a lot. I do a little bit of buzzing, but most of the stuff for me this is a more productive way. So your whole tongue at the moment is dropping. Just let the front part and everything else stays completely in one place. There you go. And blow 10 times more air through. There you go. Good. Now play. Let's play an F on the horn. Oh, I've lost you. Oh, there you go. You're back. Shoot. So the air has to stay on as a constant stream, and the tongue is just cutting through that stream. Good. Down a half step. Good. Now put the tongue in your normal position. Do the same thing. What do you notice?
It's a bit duller, the articulation.
And it stops. We end up with this doot, 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 da, da, da. We end up with much more control. So what is controlling is the air is controlling the process, not your tongue now, which is a little bit unnerving for your brain because your brain's like, I'm not feeling control. But for the quality, it's maybe better, maybe not. I think it's there's less work that your face has to do, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So can we try? But let's blow it through the mouthpiece first. Good, and then do the same thing with your old tongue position. Sorry, not your normal tongue position. That's pretty good. Where's your tongue hitting there?
It's a little further back. It's not exactly where. So for my gums, there's a little peak at the center between the teeth.
Yep.
So it's a little bit behind there.
Okay.
Just like a millimeter
All right, so now same again, move it forward down to the tip is at the bottom of your top teeth and squashed in. Yeah, mouthpiece, yeah. Good. Good. Okay, that into the horn.
C, D, E?
Yeah, just C major first 5 notes.
Oh, okay.
Good. And focus on the airstream. So the airstream and the tongue is just hitting the same spot. Good. How does that feel?
It feels a lot more relaxed.
Good. So these are the questions that you know when you're going through this process of experimenting with different things, and whether it's tonguing or embouchure or air breathing, observation is really the most important thing, and awareness. If you're not aware of something, it's a problem because you don't know whether you don't know which thing to reinforce or which thing to change. If you're aware of something, you can make decisions. You can say, oh, I'm aware that I'm doing this, and this is the reaction or the result to that. Okay, great. I can reinforce that if it's good. Or I can change it if it's bad. But if we're not aware, it's random. And this is why people, and we've all felt this, right? You pick up the horn one day and everything works and you feel great. And you're like, oh, I'm amazing. I'm going to be principal horn of the Berlin Philharmonic tomorrow. Incredible. I've never had that feeling, but people tell me that that's what happens, right? And then the other day, you wake up and you're like, oh my goodness, I can't even get a note out and everything feels terrible and I miss every second note, right? This is because what we're doing is potentially practicing without awareness. So we're actually just trying to get around, when we're not aware, we're getting around the bad habits we've created. And on the days where we're coordinated, the days where we feel good, it works. So we think, oh, I'm great, I've got no problem. And the days where it doesn't work, it's, that's that bad habit grabs onto things, and then we're like, oh, I suck. What am I doing? And then, oh, I'm just going to have to practice harder. So then all we're doing, we practice harder on the days where things aren't working so well. And all we're doing is finding a way to get around the bad habit. We're just refining the bad habit and embedding that habit even more. So if we're aware, if we step back and have awareness of what we're doing, we can reinforce the good habits and we can clear out the bad habits. It feels like it's taking longer because we have to do stuff more simply to be more aware, but we're actually going to change things much quicker and we're going to get where we want to go much faster. So let's try from the beginning of, let's go for figure 5.
So can you give me more definite, where exactly is phrase? Sorry.
Figure 5?
Yeah.
Big number 5? Do you have big number 5?
Oh, I don't have numbers.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh. Okay, so then it's like 75, bar 75. Second section. There we go, second section. So that we want to make sure we're going to play slowly, and the tongue is just hitting that spot every time, and the airstream is on like a, tap or something that's on constantly. Like me talking. Okay. Oh, through the mouthpiece first. Sorry. The reason we do the mouthpiece first is so that we can feel what we want to feel and we want to apply that to the instrument. Okay. Good. And there's no break of airstream. Good. Is the tongue hitting the spot that you want?
I wasn't being aware.
Okay, good. So remember, okay, so now let's do it without any tongue, so that you really feel the connection of the airstream. Very good. Now add the tongue to that, but don't change the air. Okay, that into the horn. Keep going. Oh, actually, we go even slower. So half that speed. Good. How does that feel?
I can get clear articulations, but it's inconsistent because I haven't had that much time to work on it, I think.
Mm-hmm. Let's go from the scale, but really, really slowly. Good. One more time. Yeah, good. Great. And then now your normal tongue position for this one, and just to feel the difference. So what do you notice in the feeling?
It definitely feels a lot more like I'm trying to control it more, which is something that I like, but you don't. So I'm going to work on the different.
It's not what I like. We shouldn't do what I like.
Okay.
What do I know? It's it's just experiment with it, because we want to work out, because what I hear and what I feel is that there's tension here when you play that, and there's blocking here, and that is going to lead to inconsistency when you're under stress, right? So this is where we want to experiment with it, find out. It feels terrifying for your brain, because you're taking the control out of here and you're putting it here, and you're putting it also in the image you have on your head, right? And it's just like, I'm just going to blow and the melody's going to come out. We're like, no, that doesn't feel right. Your brain's like, I don't like that. But again, if you do it over and over, if you commit to the process, the result will take care of itself. Okay. Terrific. Thank you, Luke. Well done. Very good. Excellent. Okay.
Bravo to everyone who performed today. Nice job. I've never had to play for a lesson or a masterclass on Zoom, and I imagine it's awful. It's like terrifying, probably. So thank you very much, Andrew. Your teaching was wonderful. Your insights are really helpful to all of us. I'm sure we have many teachers, many students here today. We will be back here at 1 o'clock to talk about commissioning new works for horn. We have some wonderful composers joining us, and Steve Cohen, who was here, I think. Oh, there he is. I see him. He's going to lead that session. So we'll see you all at 1 o'clock. And don't miss Andrew's recital. It's going to air at 4:30 on YouTube today.
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for having me, putting up with me. Have a great rest of the day. Jenna, thank you for the invitation to come and talk to everyone.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Thanks, and congratulations for everyone. Beautiful playing. Well done.
Thank you again for attending the 2021 Western Horn Festival. I look forward to many more years of hosting this event and hope you can join us in person next year. The Western Horn Festival was made possible with funding from the WIU Horn Institute, the WIU Bands Department, and attendees like you. If you'd like to make an additional donation to support future events, text HornFest to 41444.